But Vincent, let's start with you. So, your name came up as I was traveling around asking people about great music stories in northern Colorado. Your name came up so many times. So many people are so fascinated by the work you do with these kids. So tell me a little bit about your programs.
Well, thanks for having me here, by the way. And this is, I'm really proud of what you're a part of here. This is extremely exciting. I mean, you know, bringing the arts together as a community is really what I've been wanting to do and continue to work, strive toward. So this is very fortuitous being here today and having the level of talent that'll perform for all of you today as well. So I started at KRFC 6 years ago. A friend told me about the radio station, and they gave me a show to kind of mold as I would that was youth-centered, and I turned it into a live music show. So I think about 300 shows we've done, hour-long shows.
In that tiny little studio?
Yeah.
I've been there. It's just small. You go in there and you have to sit against the wall like this where all the musicians together.
Well, I actually learned how to semi-competently run the Green Studio, which is where Live at Lunch happens. So most of the shows have actually been recorded in there. And I've been very impressed with the level of mentorship in Fort Collins and Loveland, whether it's the parents like Emma Marie's mom, who's a music teacher, people like Jeff DeBernstein with Project Pitch. There's just a lot of great mentorship happening. I really feel honored to be a part of it. Not being a musician per se myself, being able to set up performance opportunities for youth. I guesstimated the other day about 500 hours of live performance, whether it's at the radio station, or PSD TV, which is the cable station for the Poudre School District. Oh, wow. Places like the Downtown Artery, which we're having weekly events there. Had a couple shows at the Mishawaka Amphitheater through the generosity of Danny Grant. And now looking internationally to kind of bring some musicians into the web of music here in Fort Collins, Loveland region.
Wow. It's pretty ambitious, but I have to say, there's no lack of ambition in Fort Collins and Loveland. I mean, I should mention we're coming live to you right now from Art Space, which a year ago was just a big field next to the Feed and Grain. So they've built this wonderful Art Space campus where we live and work in our studios, and so that's why I wanted to welcome. This is the first time I'm bringing people into my home to do a live music event, and it just seemed perfect to bring you and the girls because I just think this idea of nurturing talent that young. I mean, these girls really know what they want to do, don't they? I mean, they're not just kind of playing around saying, "Oh, sometimes I play music." They're committed.
It takes practice. It takes real dedication to be at the level where you can perform in front of a crowd. It really does. And then the parents, I mean, there's a lot of logistical support. There's emotional support, and they get it. Even if the parents themselves are not musicians, they see how it can transform them into confident individuals, whether they continue with music at whatever level they choose for the rest of their lives. It's giving them that confidence and learning aspects of the music business, as you will, which in many cases is not supportive really of artists the way it should be. So kind of a tagline of what I do is to help redefine the music industry through mentorship and collaboration. And we're all kind of learning as we go.
Well, you know, when I started on this film, I was the same way. I said, you know, I'm not a musician, I'm not a music critic, I'm not an music academic or anything, but I love it. I love music, and I think what I love even more than music is the commitment and the joy of the musicians. I mean, just being able to spend so much time with them at all ages, all points in their career now. One thing I'm finding that I love most is there is a real sense of joy about what they do. And so I think to be able to give kids that young an opportunity to engage with something that does bring so much happiness and so much, you know, joy to people, I just think it's a natural. I mean, I'm appalled sometimes when people talk about cutting music programs in schools and stuff like that because, I mean, they may not all be solo performers like Emma Marie and Maya, but even, you know, being in the school band, I know a lot of musicians in Fort Collins are band geeks. That's where they came from. And now they're, you know, adult band geeks. So I think that's very important, and I love that you do that.
They talk about that one thing for adults as well. If you're having emotional times, you're having a rough time, if you can go to that one thing, and if it involves the arts, that's really what, because the youth are going to affect society one way or the other, as individuals and collectively. And if they can do it as empowered artists, that gives us great hope for the generation coming up.